Hello, this is Alan Lee, and welcome to OakMerge training on exercise 4, adding contacts to specific static groups. If we look at the table of contents, the fourth exercise involves talking about adding contacts to static groups in ACT. So that's called a group assignment merge, and we're going to go out to that exercise. The file that's used is one called the group 10 CSV file, and it has the company, and we can match on the contact and say if it's the company contact match, add them to this group. The end on the end there is just for data integrity issues, so we don't use the end column for anything. That's just optional. Now the groups have to exist, and they must exist. So if there's no group called test 1 or test 2, it's going to try to link, it can't find it, just skips it. It doesn't report an error because it tells ACT to add it. ACT can't find it, doesn't know what to do, and ACT just moves on. So we're going to use link to group name, so we want to make sure that these groups exist. They must exist, and they must be unique. We'll match on 2 fields and bring the data in. So we're really only going to map the 3 fields. The 3 fields involve the company and contact that we're going to match on, and then the group name that we're going to link. At the bottom we'll say update if it matches and skip it if it doesn't. That you could use a constant value. If the group name doesn't exist in the data, you could just throw it in a constant value, which is kind of nice. If you're doing an import, you might create a group called imported and add everybody to that group as you bring them in. So let's go into ACT and create those 2 groups. So in the group tab on the left, we can say new. So the first one is going to be test 1. And then the second group is going to be test 2. So we have these 2 groups. Currently there's no members in them. So let's run our merge. This is the basic. So we have the welcome screen. We pick our source file, which is called groups, which has the group name and the test or test 1. Okay. No name is required for the database since there's a single user, and we have only, since it's a basic version of OakMerge, we only have 2, but go here to contacts. Now notice we're not trying up here to update the group table. You're updating the contact and linking the contact to a group. So we're updating contacts, linking them to a group. We're matching on the contact and company and saying if those are the same, we're going to update them. If they're not the same, we're going to skip. Match on company contact. If you find them, link this contact to this group based on group name. We ignore the end for data integrity. I'll run a preview to see if there's any errors at the top. No errors, no problems, that's good. Another run, says complete run. And it runs. Added 10. We're going to ACT and click on test 1, and there's the people we just added, and there's test 2, other people we added. So we go to Greg Hart, and let's see his group shows on the group tab at the group level. So that's the way that works. Going in terms of looking at the group, you'll see they've all been added as static members of the group. There's one other kind of important point that's mentioned in the manual, and that is if you're bringing in several contacts, you can add them to one group at a time. So this one above is contact A, B, and C. They're coming in for 3 different groups. But what if you had contact A, and A? You wanted to put them in 3 different groups. Since you're matching on contact, it's going to dedupe. It's only going to update the first one. So if you have this kind of scenario, you'll want to do one merge and add contact A to group, and then you want to do a second merge where that group is not in the source file so that it can find and add them to the second group, and then delete that row, then do the third time and add them to the third group. So in this case you'd have to do 3 merges to get them connected to all 3 groups. So you have to do a little data dedupe and delete the first one of each recurrence, maybe use an Excel formula, and be able to bring the data in that way. Thanks for watching.